What's up, Jermey? Alright guys, just a pilot from Florida here, filming some content for our YouTube channel. Today we're sitting with a good friend of mine, someone that I've known for a long time, Jermey Wicker. And he built this airplane that we see behind us, a pit special. We went live just recently on Instagram. You can see some content there where we just walked around the airplane, talked about some stuff. Basic information, just a little teaser. This video is going to be us talking about general aviation. We'll talk about his airplane, we'll talk about current events, stuff like that. But if you have any questions, just message them to us and we'll get back to you. So we'll start out with some basic information. Tell the people at home who you are and where you're from.
Hey, I'm Jermey Wicker from Jacksonville, Florida.
Cool. Where are we currently filming at right now?
Hangar 101 at Craig Airfield at Craig Air Center.
Cool. What do you currently do for a living?
I'm an avionics specialist, avionics technician for the Department of Defense.
Okay, cool. And so for the guys at home who might not know what that entails, what specifically do you do at this job?
Basically, extremely in-depth avionics troubleshooting repair, typically for the F-35, the Joint Strike Fighter. We also do P-8, P-3, and F-18 systems.
Cool. How long have you been doing that?
I've been at this job since April 2016.
That's a long time. Is that what year do you think that we met?
Well, had to have been right after my daughter was born, so late 2013.
2013. So for the people at home, where did me and you meet, and what was our relationship? And
we started up using my GI Bill to try and get some flight training in, and started at Sunrise Aviation at Cecil Field, and you wound up being my flight instructor for instrument commercial. So it was definitely a fun time. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun flying. All right, so we met at Sunrise Aviation, like you said, back then. At some point, you decided to make an airplane, and I don't remember the exact timing of it, but when did you start this project behind us, and why?
It was actually right about the time you and I met. In September of 2016, I went on Barnstormers and was just kind of looking around to see if there were any aerobatic airplane projects. And a good friend of mine, who's no longer with us, Charlie Schwenker, decided to convince me to build a pit special. So I started looking into the frames, and I found a bare bones Pitts frame on Barnstormers, and I didn't have the money that he was asking, but I knew I could build it soon. So I got in touch with the guy and told him I was interested. Long story short, it wound up working out really well in my favor. He had to have the room cleared out in his hangar, and I wound up buying a 4130 chrome moly steel tube welded frame for $800, and that was the foundation of this.
Why specifically this airplane? Just because of the deal, or?
At the time, I mean, you got to figure this was 9 years ago. Really, the mindset at the time was still that the Pitts was the best bang for the buck, and I still think that it's a pretty handy airplane, and it still competes at the advanced level really well. Once you start getting in there, intermediate, it starts to lose it to the new, faster, more maneuverable monoplanes. But at the time, it was really brought about as the best bang for the buck aerobatic platform.
What's the current timeline of events for this airplane in regards to running it and taxiing it and flying? Actually getting it to flight, because I know I've seen you out here taxiing it some, but what's the timeline?
So at this point, it's been 9.5 years, 2,100 hours build time. So it's pretty much at its complete stages right now. The only thing that's left is I've got to fix a brake problem with a busted master cylinder. take the cowling off, do an oil change, inspect the oil, and we're ready for an airworthiness inspection from the FAA. They have to send out a designated airworthiness representative.
Right.
And they basically go over all the documentation, go over all the aircraft, do really a glorified pre-flight inspection, make sure everything's safe for operation. And then we get a restricted experimental airworthiness certificate.
Right.
And then there's a 40-hour test period of flight test to make sure that everything's working properly.
Right. So what does it cost to insure a plane like this for a guy like you?
That's the problem. The insurance these days is really kind of killing general aviation. When it comes down
Tell
to
me
it,
about it.
there are, I've submitted bids for multiple brokers to talk to multiple aircraft insurance companies, and I've been rejected twice by all companies so far. That's including up to 100 hours of tail wheel time, at least another 10 hours, which would put me at about 15 hours dual and a PITS S2, the two-seat variant. But they're just not insuring people in aerobatic airplanes, especially home-built experimentals.
Right. So what if you can't insure it? What will you do then?
If I can't insure it, really the plan is to go up. I've got a friend in New Jersey who I'm going to fly some two-seat time with, since it's been a few years since I've flown one.
Right.
And I've got a friend who's going to come and do the test flight. Just because it's not that I don't trust myself with the build. I don't have enough time and type to know what needs to be adjusted based on flying characteristics.
You need someone with a lot of experience.
Right, so I want to go the safest route with that. But once he signs it off, and then I go up to Jersey and get some more two-seat time, and I'm going to come down here when it's fresh in my mind, nice, calm, cool morning, and take it on my first flight, man, and it's definitely going to be nerve-wracking. If you're not nervous, I don't think you understand what you're about to embark on.
I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm an aviator, but I can't even imagine having the mental fortitude to put all this time into that, to build it, the time, the effort, the money. So I know that it's stressful. Just the anticipation is, I can't even imagine. All right, so my next question is, how much money do you think you have invested in this project from start to, I don't want to say finish, but where the project is currently at, because it's almost done. So how much do you have invested in the airplane?
So I really love that question. Part of the reason I love it is because I fabricated every part of this airplane, and I essentially stole the engine. I really got a deal on it. So when people ask how much I have in it, I like to ask them, how much do you think that I have in the airplane?
Right.
How much do you think I have in it?
I would say probably 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
I wish that was the case.
How much?
Realistically, at this point, you would expect it to be somewhere around 70 to 80,000, maybe a little bit more. Some folks have said 100,000.
Well, I just said low because you made it seem like you got nothing in it.
I've got about $38,000 in the airplane.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. So once the airplane is approved and certified, and you've run it through the 40 hours and stuff, what do you think this airplane will be worth in the current market?
In the current market, with the avionics arrangement, custom wings, the high horsepower custom engine, exhaust set, the high performance, I mean, there's so many different
Obviously, it
options
depends
on it. Realistically, in this market, we could see fetching for 85,000.
85,000. Hey guys, so I don't know if you can hear in the background, but it started raining here. Pretty typical Florida afternoons, thunderstorms. So we'll try and talk louder for the video. But if you hear the echoing in the background, it's the rain on the hangar doors and stuff like that. So hopefully Jeremy can speak up with his big boy voice and he can project a little bit louder. But we'll continue with the interview. So when do you anticipate the airplane actually going to forward flight? And then also, are you going to be going to Sun and Fun this year coming up?
So first flight should be in April. Unfortunately, it's going to be after Sun and Fun, just because of the schedule of the airworthiness inspector, the test pilot that we have to organize getting him down here from Georgia. I won't be flying this airplane at Sun and Fun 2022, but I will be there. I will be at Coconut Flyers pretty much every night, Friday through Sunday.
Just a Pilot from Florida will be there as well. So if you're going to Sun and Fun, be on the lookout for Just a Pilot from Florida, as well as Jermey Wicker. His airplane won't be there, but we'll be there hanging out. So let's keep moving forward. Does the airplane run right now? Like if you took it outside, would it start?
Oh, she starts just fine and she wants to fly. The problem is she doesn't want to stop. I've got a master cylinder that has a busted O-ring, so I've got to rebuild that this weekend. But realistically, that's the only thing stopping me from doing the airworthiness inspection.
Right.
She wants to fly. She's rigged, weight and balance is done, all the avionic systems are calibrated, and she's good to go.
So, for the guys at home watching, tell us something special about the pits, or anything cool, or why they use them, for aerobatics and stuff like that.
Well, actually, the neat thing about it is Curtis Pitts built this thing in 1944 here in Jacksonville, Florida.
No shit.
And I really didn't know that until after I started to build for quite a few years. And it was kind of ironic. The guy worked at the exact same workplace that I work at, building the exact same airplane in the exact same state. No, I mean, I can't say the exact same airplane because mine is highly modified from the original, electrical system, much bigger engine. But really, he sold the original airplane, I believe it was to Mary Gaffney had one, and Betty Skelton, who were female founders of aerobatics competitions and air shows.
Right.
And really, the pits dominated the market until the Soviet Union decided that they were tired of getting their butts kicked in world aerobatic competitions.
Talking about odd timing, huh?
They got their butts kicked in world aerobatic competitions and decided to put out a request order for all of their military aircraft design bureaus. Sukhoi and Yakovlev were the two that picked up. And it wasn't until the Soviet Union got their military aircraft designers to develop an airplane to beat the West that the pits started to become irrelevant.
All right, so for the viewers at home, is there anything else that you would like to say specifically about the Pitts airplane that you built yourself, or General Aviation, or about yourself, or anything like that that you'd like to say?
Just thanks for all the love and support, particularly from my family and friends, everybody that has helped me develop a knowledge base of building this airplane. Like I said, I didn't start off knowing how to build an airplane. I started off knowing how to do electrical systems in airplanes and avionics, and that's about it. My wife let me build the airplane in the garage the whole time. My daughter got out and helped me on it. I've had neighbors come by, and even if they're just not able to really help in the construction process, the emotional support of it has been really great. Thanks to great flight instructors like yourself who have helped to kind of really motivate me to get this finished, to try and get as much aviation experience, pilot experience as possible. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody out on the airshow circuit, and I'm really hoping that some of the folks who have been in this for years and decades can kind of mentor me along to be a safe and successful airshow pilot.
Hey, in closing, remember guys, it's not about the destination, it's the ride that counts. Just a pilot from Florida, out.